answer the call. We stepping into the future and leading the charge. We only dreaming large, going colossal, impossible's nothing at all. Breaking the boundaries, making them fall, pushing the pathway through the wall, making the world evolve. Better get ready, cause we about to raise the bar. Let's go. This is the moment. And we are the movement. We are the dreamers.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Candid Conversations. I am your host, Kyra. I hope everybody is having a wonderful, beautiful day. Yeah, we're on a little on time. I know that this is crucial crunching time for a lot of our viewers at the city council meeting tonight, and I hope all goes well. I've been seeing some really interesting things. But we're neither here or there. We will not be having Derek may or may not be showing up tonight. So we are going to still have a good time and get into this topic. But first, let's bring my new postmaster on, Mr. Sean Davis.
Hold on.
Yeah, this my new postmaster.
What? I don't even know what that means. What you talking about?
You don't know what a postmaster is?
Nope, I don't know what a postmaster is. What kind of job you giving me?
You took the job.
What
You
is
you the ma-
a postmaster?
you my mailman. you that guy.
Hey, yeah, you saw the video, right?
I did. Yo, this is the best person to have your package just sent to. He gonna get you video when they tear up your stuff.
Look,
Disrespectful to my package.
I'm gonna start taking things personal. Y'all tearing up my grass. Y'all cutting up my shrubs. Y'all throwing my mail the way I want to throw my mail. I'm gonna have to start, hopping at some of these people because you'll just be disrespecting me in my house. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it.
I don't like it either because it wasn't even your stuff.
You don't like it because you don't like it because it wasn't my stuff. It was your stuff.
It was my stuff. Like, how rude. The disrespect is something different. It's all good in the hood.
It's definitely not good.
It's all good because I reported his ass.
And I like it.
I don't like it. I don't like it either. Like, how dare you?
No, I like
Mistreat other
that.
people's property.
I like that you reported them. Good. Because
I sure did.
I was going to the Amazon warehouse in Totowa
Oh,
with my phone. Who this person? Who this? I need
they
to talk to
independent contractors.
Well, we need to know where this independent contractor is. I need to have a conversation with him.
Yeah, they independent contractors. They just be doing the mostest. But
Yeah.
not today. I'm sorry.
And I just missed him too. Because I would have definitely been on that camera like, yo, my man. Need to holler at you. Come back.
Somebody needed to holler at him because that was just
You ain't doing that. You just gonna come to my you just gonna come to my steps, throw the package, and then take a picture when it lands. I could have had glass in there. I could have had jewelry in there. I could have had anything in there.
Ain't give a damn.
Luckily, I had a watch mail, and the person who bought the watch, they actually sat the watch down where it needed to be. Like, thank you.
Yeah, because if he would have tossed that package the way that damn man did, watch it, I don't think probably would existed unless they did some good packaging.
And the watch is a gift. So it makes it even worse. Like, hey, here you go. It won't even work.
They don't be giving a damn.
I know.
What the hell with you? But
So
everybody in the good old Facebook world that ain't at the Patterson Council meeting, we thank you all for coming and tuning in and being friends with us tonight. Tonight's topic is: are we exploiting our children for a check? And I'm going to say you certainly are. I was watching, well, I wasn't even watching, I was scrolling through my TikTok, and I came across a video. I'm pretty sure a lot of people probably heard about the little boy that overdosed at school on gummies because the bigger kids, gave a whole bunch of little kids um,
really,
weed gummies.
really,
Oh yeah, they gave the little kids weed gummies. The little kids thought that they were, the little gummy bears, candy. So this particular child ate the whole bag of gummies, and he ingested over 2,000 milligrams of weed, and he started hallucinating, acting crazy because once again, he is a 9-year-old child who should never consume that much of anything like that in that large of quantity. I know if I take a gummy and I only take half of a gummy, my ass is knocked out. So I could just imagine a low 9-year-old kid who ate the entire two 2,500 milligrams of gummies, of weed gummies.
we just gonna
And
slide.
this month,
We gonna slide by that like that ain't just happened. You did what?
listen, sometimes when I have a little bit of trouble going to sleep, I will take half of a gummy and I'm going to take a nap. And I sleep very well. And I don't have a problem saying that. Not at all. Not at all.
Well, well, all right.
I don't give a damn.
This is this is no judgment. Safe space.
I don't be giving a damn.
All
I
right.
do what I do. My house. I ain't driving. I ain't bothering nobody. All I'm trying to do is take a nap. That's it. But anyway, this mother decided to go live. And she went live and showed how, while in the hospital, showed her child with all of the machines and the tubes, and he's yelling and he's screaming because he doesn't know what's going on, and he's hallucinating. And I wanted to reach through the screen and bop her upside her head because I felt bad for the little boy, and I felt like that was not something that anybody should have to see. She claims she did it for awareness so people would know what is going on, what's the effects of what a 9-year-old can go through when they consume these products. And I get that. If you want to bring awareness, that's fine, but don't do it with your kid. There was other ways that she could have did that. And furthermore, I'm sorry if my child is in the hospital and in pain and going through something horrific, the last thing I'm thinking about is picking up my cell phone and hitting a live button. That's not my concern. Social media world is not my concern. She did that shit for attention. They need to lock her ass for exploiting that baby um, the way she did. But long story short, they ended up locking up the 5 kids that was handing out these gummies to these kids in the school, to these little kids in the school.
Gotcha.
Um, but it was a sad situation, and I think that was despicable.
Never heard about that. I never heard about that.
It was on the news.
Slack,
Um, it was on
slack.
the news, and they, huh?
I said I'm slacking.
Oh yeah, you are. Yeah, it was on the news. It was all over social media. I think it happened in Arkansas, something like that. It was something I can't remember. But yeah, I thought that was despicable. I think that, and you see a lot. I don't know how much how much you're on social media or whatever, but you do see a lot of videos with children and their parents, and you have the good videos, you have the other videos where parents are up here punishing their children, cutting their hair, um, beating them up, um, just all types of things um, for a check. Because the more views they get, the more likes they get, the more followers they get from their content, the more money they receive. And it's all good and dandy. Y'all do what y'all do. I'm judging. Um,
Definitely not good and dandy.
um, well, you can't. I mean, you can't tell people to do with their kids, but I think that when you go on, I don't know what possesses people to feel like I'm gonna punish you and I'm gonna go live and I'm going to show the world and all these lovely strangers how I'm gonna punish you by cutting off your hair. Like the one lady who cut her daughter's hair because she wasn't listening, and she told her daughter, if you keep it up, she was gonna cut the braids out of her hair. So she literally cut the braids out of her hair with a pair of scissors and cut the braids out of her hair, and she put it on social media. Um, you have a lot of parents that catch their kids doing things that they shouldn't be doing, and they decide that they're going to show the world that this is the punishment that their child's going to get. They're going to embarrass them, but I don't think they understand the consequences of when you do things like that. The embarrassment that they have, them kids still got to get up and go to school, still got
Yeah.
to and be ridiculed by their peers because mommy decided that she needed a check and she wanted to get views and likes. So let's sacrifice my kid in order to do so. Because that's how I look at it. Um, we're going to get more into the topic, but I just want to throw a video up for you guys.
Your desire to go viral and to get followers on social media is leading you to traumatize your children. I am not the one to tell you whether to put your children on social media or not. But the way that you do it, some of you, the way that you create content with your children is carrying your children for the long term. Remember, childhood trauma has implications on the person way into adulthood. And this childhood trauma that we are talking about, some of the causes are verbal and emotional abuse. Some of you are emotionally and verbally abusing your children on social media, but you don't know it, and you are scarring them for life. And you also have video evidence of it. You know that whatever you put on social media, it is going to be on social media forever. As a parent, you have the responsibility to protect your children. You have the responsibility to protect the privacy of your children. You have the responsibility to foster the emotional, psychological, and spiritual growth of your children, not only the physical growth. Think about it.
And she is 1,000% correct. I approve that message.
She's 1,000% correct.
1,000% correct. Because it's not right. People should not be exploiting their children on social media at all. They just shouldn't. It's trauma. It's traumatizing. Like they ain't the ones that gotta live through that. Them kids do. Can you imagine if somebody wanted to look them up or something like that, and that's what they come across? They're a mother cutting a child hair off or punishing her in front of everybody in the world to see. Thank you. Yeah, no, I don't agree with that at all. Not at all. What do you? Well, what you feel about it? You a daddy?
Okay, let's rock. You ready?
Let's go.
Let's go. Let's do it. Um, I can understand. Um, I can understand all points. Although we just got one side, but I can understand the other side as well. Don't mean that I agree with it. Because some people are doing things for monetary reasons, and that's how they make their money. Um, and depending on how old the child is, um, when you insert the child, is it okay? Is it cool? It's your children. You can make that determination. If not, then the diapers get involved. Um, but let me ask this. Let me ask this. Um, we speaking on the aspect of children, and
Hmm.
um, once you do things with the child, it's on social media forever, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
Now, we see a lot of uh, videos, photos of mom and dad in vulnerable positions, right?
Hmm.
With maybe, there was one that was just put out there of a young lady that was sent home from a prom because her outfit was a little
And she should have been sent home.
little too
I think
revealing,
that.
was a little too revealing for the principal. And the principal sent that young lady home. And
He
I
should
agree
have.
with and I agree with you. Um that maybe she should have been sent home because um I wouldn't have been okay with that. You wouldn't have left my home. Forget getting to the school and the principal had to send you home. You wouldn't have left my home like that. But let me ask you this.
You're the reason why.
I see a little hypocrisy in this, a little bit. Um, when let's say some young ladies or some women dressed a little provocative, adult, and I hear the women saying, like we see a lot, like even let me draw it back. We see a lot, like let's say women like in the church and they wear a certain outfit and it it matches her curves and this, that, and the third. It's like, oh, you can't help, how you're shaped. And yes, you can. You can. You can wear something that's a little less form fitting. Um, do we take that same thought process of some women, dressing a little provocative, a little too risque, too sexy, kind of? I've seen some women with pasties on with sheer stuff over it. Um, those same photos and videos is gonna be on the internet forever as well. And that same child may be able to see those same photos sometime in the future. The same as you're talking about what's going on with the child is going to be on the internet forever and give that child trauma. Do we give the same respect to that same child that maybe those photos of their mom, auntie, sister is going to give that same child the same trauma in the future as the photos and the videos that we're talking about? Would probably give them more trauma.
Absolutely.
But when
Because
we
who
have
want to
these
see them? Who want to see their parents like that?
But the problem is when we have these conversations online, all we hear is, I'm grown, I can do what I want to do.
Well, if you treat your child like they grown,
I'm talking about the
that's what
parent.
they gonna
I'm
be.
talking about the parent. I'm talking about the parent, not the child. The parent is saying, I'm grown. I'll do what I want to do. Saying the
And that's,
child,
I mean, I get that, and that's a choice that that grown adult is making, not thinking that's what we call being selfish. Because if you, when you have children and you moving in a certain way, you're not thinking about the children that you possibly could be hurting. You're only thinking about what you want to do in that moment. So it's selfish. Because I know if I'm a kid and this video's floating around on social media about my mother and it gets 1.5 million views, that means 1.5 million people done see my mother in a compromising situation, and I gotta go to school and I gotta see people chuckling about it, talking about it, picking on me about it. So yeah, you're not thinking about your kid when you do certain things.
and I understand and I agree. But a lot of times when we have these conversations, this is not the direction that it normally goes in. It goes in the direction of it's my body, my choice. I do what I want to do. Blah, 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 blah. The same way that they say, oh, there's pedophiles out there, there's rapists out there. So we had these and I just wanted to bring this home. We had these conversations forever with a lot of women that dress provocative. The same way that you say that, these young women or children or whatever we choose to, speak on in this topic, that there's pedophiles and this and that, and that may attack, that environment or that situation. There's rapists and men that think, a little weird, that may be ready to attack you as well. So I think this goes back to us as men looking to protect our family, but a lot of times we're met with rejection because you want to do what you want to do. But now when it's the women are dealing with the child, now you understand the logic. But you don't understand the logic when it's you. And we're trying to protect you. Because the same way that there's pedophiles that's looking at these children, there's rapists and killers that's looking at you. And we're trying to protect you. But you don't want to hear it. Because it's your body, your choice.
I definitely understand what you're saying and where you're coming from when it comes to that. Um, but I think that I sometimes think that sometimes, not all the time, that both parents are to blame for all of the exploitation of what is being shown on social media. Social media has gotten completely out of control because it's not just women, it's not just, sometimes it's both parents, sometimes
That's
it's
it.
men sitting up here fighting their sons because their sons is out here being disrespectful and they showing the world that you don't come in my house and be disrespectful. And then they wonder why they got CPS cases. Because people are watching. You giving somebody a reason to come and attack your home
Yes.
when you putting it out there like that. Whether you don't feel as though it's something wrong, but the world feels as though it's something wrong. Just like that pastor, he went out there and made that young boy say all these things on camera. The boy was looking confused, and or type of thing. He ended up getting a CPS case and they removed the child out of his custody. You got a father that went to jail because his son came in the house being disrespectful and he decided to take him outside on the street and beat the hell out of him. I get it, but everything ain't made for social media.
I agree.
It's just not. You want to discipline your kid, but why everybody else gotta know you discipline your kid? Because everything is for likes and shares. Period. Likes and shares. And the more likes you get, you can monetize off of it and you can get a couple of dollars and you happy. Or you want to be uh what do they call the people? What do they call these influencers? You want to be an influencer. Yeah, no. Because I want to know who you influencing.
Yeah.
But then you have the good I mean you do have good content. You do have people who like people that kids have like autism or they're born with certain type of in these rare situations and they document every single day of their lives of how they are doing and the treatments and things like that. I can understand that. And you do what you do what you do. And some of those are very inspirational for others, people that may have the same thing and are maybe going through the same situations and you giving them different ways to handle stuff. And to me that I don't see anything wrong with because it's more of awareness and understanding of something that a lot of people may not know about. But when you are making this content with your kids and you're allowing like especially the little kids, you're dressing your daughters up and they like 7, 8 years old, but you dressing them up like they a 15-year old is ridiculous to me. Kids should be kids and they should look like kids. Um, that's just me personally. But like I said, you can't tell people how to raise their kids.
Now, let me ask you this
But
because
it's not
let me ask
cute.
you this
But
because let's say with the kids with autism,
hmm
with those children are even more vulnerable. Um,
they can't give consent either.
they can't what?
They can't give consent either.
Yeah, I get it. That's my point. Do the pedophiles watch that too?
I'm pretty sure. What
So
better
just
way to take
because
care? Those are the most vulnerable because they don't know no some people don't know no better. Like they kids, they don't know no better.
but my point is, how do we gauge this and who's um okay to be videoed and pictures taken? Because pedophiles can target any child with any ailment, with any disorder, with anything. They just I remember probably a couple months ago where they had a bunch of videos of women that was dancing on video that looked like they had Down syndrome.
Hmm
Saw that? And everybody was sharing it because they thought that these young women or these women had Down syndrome. You don't think that some pedophiles is paying attention to that?
I think pedophiles pay attention to everything.
So how do we regulate this?
Well, I was looking up some stuff and yeah, now there are laws that they put in place, and I'm just gonna read some of them when it comes to children with disabilities. So what they said is that the exploitation of children with disabilities on social media is one of the most ethical, sensitive, and legal complex areas of parenting. Sharing. I'm sorry. It often involves a conflict between the parent's desire to raise awareness and the child's fundamental right to privacy and dignity. So as of 2026, um, they are now viewing the videos that have children with disabilities as a form of inspirational porn or medical exploitation. Um, and what it says is that sharing a child's diagnosis is common, but posting videos of them during medical crisis, seizures, intense therapy sessions is viewed as a violation of the child's HIPAA privacy rights, even if it is the parent that is the one posting it. So it becomes a violation, and a parent can and will be charged with the HIPAA violations, and they can either be fined up to $250,000 or be put in jail for 2 years. And I think it's different because they look at it as clout, or especially if they're using it for clout or for just engagement. And children with disabilities, they have to have what they call trust for life. And that is, with a child with a disability, is the star of a monetized channel. The money must be put into a trust. Advocates are pushing for the funds to be protected so they don't disqualify the child from future disability benefits like SSI, while still ensuring that they are compensated for the work that they do. And they also put a law into put a law in as of this year, saying that the court has the right to delete and have an authorized representative delete and remove all content that child is in and sensitive to the medical information of their child once they turn 18.
Gotcha.
So yeah, so they're looking more. It's not so much for the children with disabilities have a lot more rights where the parent can be held responsible than the children that don't have a disability.
Gotcha. And we got another
So
video.
yeah, I'm gonna cut and paste that video because that do a
Ah,
little too much.
play the
I
video.
can't I can't stand it talking in person.
Play the video.
Child content is weird. I think that the whole family style child thing weird. Children are one of the most vulnerable group. They get no say, and you are putting a camera in front of their face for thousands, millions of people. Weirdos are out there. Pedophiles, XYZ are out there. It's just a lot. But when you are now making a mockery and making content out of making a mockery of your children, I think you're up here, there's nothing there. If you don't know why this is coming up, it's because there was a video about this baby using clippers that were on while he was in his daddy's arms laps, and it was being recorded. Not only was he being recorded, it then was posted, and it was a ha 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 moment on the dad's side because the boy had shaved a bald spot on his head and they tried to fix it, whatever. It was turned into a family content. When California last year passed that law that children, if your child is more than 30% of your content, you are required to put, I think, 60 or 65% of that income for them. People left the state of California because of that. There was literally a whole thing.
I told y'all she talks too much. But she
Yeah.
is right about she is 100% correct about that law. There is a law that if your child is in 30% of content, that child you have to put 65% of the income into an account for that child. So I guess it's the same as with children actors. When it's a child actor, the parent, even though the parent is oversees the account, they still by law have to put a certain amount of money away for the child. So when that child does reach the age of 18, that they have money of their own to live off of.
Yeah.
So that she is right. I think from what I was reading, they're trying to do the same thing that they did with the children with disabilities, which is put the child's money into a trust and a representative oversees the trust until the child is old enough to then obtain their money for their work that they did. And I think that's only right. If you're gonna sit up there and exploit your children, I think that they should be able to be compensated for the trauma and the therapy sessions that they're going to need in the future. So I think it's only fair and right that is done. Um, so they can at least have something. And it's not just for the parents, and the parents just think it's okay to spend, you know, this child's money when it's because of the child you're even getting the money.
I agree. I just don't want to stop that logic, because a child can see their parents online cutting up, and that will give them trauma as well.
Absolutely. It will.
You know what I mean?
It's just embarrassing.
So we should be able to have the conversation about the parents looking a certain way, doing certain things, because it will affect the child the same way as we're talking about now.
The only effect that it's going to have on parents that do those things, if people stop liking and clicking because and watching it, because they only do it for the content. They only do it for the likes and the attention that they are so badly seeking.
You said that's the only
Yeah,
way?
because what other way can you stop somebody? Is everybody puts videos on social media. You gonna stop everybody from posting?
No, point is, if I'm a child and I'm growing up and I ended up finding my mom or my dad on social media doing something insane, it don't have to be links and things attached to it. Their name is attached to it.
Yeah, their name is attached to it, but it's the intent of why you do the stupid stuff that you do is because everybody wants to be famous. Everybody wants to get a
But
coin.
I'm not even talking about the intent, right? I already know the intent is already flawed, right? I'm
Hmm.
talking about just the trauma that, let's say, you as a mom can give your child in the
Hmm.
future, because you sitting here talking about, I wear what I want to wear.
Yeah, but I don't think that can be controlled by
What you mean
anybody.
it can't be controlled?
It can't be controlled.
It can, by the same
How
logic.
how do you feel as though it's gonna be able to be controlled? How do you control grown adults?
I answer you. By the same logic that we're given this right here. If you don't want your child exploited because it may give them trauma in the future because of the things that they see themselves a part of, that same child can get trauma from the things that they see their parents do. So you need to
Yes,
be careful about not just what you have your children do. You need to be careful about what you do, because that also can give
absolutely.
children trauma. So I'm just
And I'm
answering.
not and I'm not disagreeing with that, but even with the children, you can't really stop the parent from exploiting that child.
What I'm saying, what I'm
The only
saying is,
thing that's in place for children is when it comes to the money aspect of it, or if it's like something that if they put something on social media and somebody from somewhere decides that this is too much and they call CPS on a parent behind some content that they saw on social media. Those are the only two consequences that they receive. Other than that, you can't stop them. You can't stop someone from putting their child on social media.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about if parents put their children in a compromising position, or a laughing situation where they think it's funny, but the children don't, and then they get dealt with in a traumatic situation now because of what you did or what you're saying. What I'm saying
Hmm.
is that same child can be affected by your actions as a mom or a dad. Same child can be affected by
Yes,
your decisions as a mom or a dad. I'm not talking about the
yes,
kid side. I'm talking about you as a parent.
yes.
You as a
And I under
parent, let me say it. You as a parent, knock it off from doing what you doing. Saying I'm grown, I can do what I want to do and wear what I want to wear. Because you
Mhm.
know that in the future, it can be traumatic to your children.
Yeah. No, I understand what you're saying, but that has to be up to the adult that's doing it.
That's my point.
Yeah, that's up to the adult that's doing it.
That's my point.
There's no other way to stop somebody from doing what they're gonna do. And if
That's,
they and 9 times out of 10, you could say whatever you want to say about that parent. You can go to them. You can have a conversation with them about the irresponsible things that they're doing on social media and how it can affect their kids. And most of the time, people are not going to care because that's not the reasoning of why they're doing what they're doing. They're doing it for a reason, and that reason is because I want some money. Because everybody else getting paid, why can't I get paid?
I get it.
This person got millions of dollars for their video or thousands of dollars for their video, so I'm going to get thousands of dollars for mine.
I
And it
get it.
just becomes a ripple. It's just a ripple effect of people trying to become social media famous and go viral and all types of things
I
of that
agree.
nature.
I agree.
Because that's the only reason why I could see somebody going on shows like Baddies.
I agree. I just don't believe that it should stop at the children, because the children may be, dealt with a traumatic situation because of, you know, the mom or the dad is using them for monetary reason. I think that crosses, a lot of lines, because that same mom or dad can be just using social media for the benefit of themselves, but the children can still be affected by it the same way that they'll be affected by it the way that the mom or the dad was using them. But
Absolutely. But I think they focus more on the kids because the kids don't have a say.
the kids don't have
Whereas
a
parents,
the kids don't have a say regardless. And
exactly.
let me say it. The kids don't have a say regardless in what is traumatic to them from your behalf.
Absolutely. But that's why, but what I'm saying is, I think that's why there's more focus on protecting the children and the child from being exploited than it is for the parent because the parent is the one doing the exploiting.
I agree, but
So, because
that doesn't exclude you and your behavior.
no, it's not, it's, I don't think that any of it is meant to exclude them of their behavior. But somewhere, somehow, somebody, those children have to be protected.
Yeah, in both situations.
Yes, they have to be protected, but they can only focus on what they can do for a child compared to what are you going to do to the adult. They done said if you do certain things, uh, you know, as far as exploitation is concerned for a kid, the parent will
Everything
go
to
to
be a
jail.
no.
Wait, listen, but listen to what I'm saying.
I'm
You're
sorry.
gonna go to jail. So there is no law for for a grown adult. Why? Because we're grown adults and we can consent to do whatever we choose to do,
I disagree.
regardless of the consequences.
I disagree.
Regardless of the consequences. Is the only other thing that I feel social media world that they can do is what? Take your account offline. And then you know what they do? They get another account under a different name.
Okay. I disagree because you have the court of public opinion.
You
And,
do.
and and one of the biggest problems that we have, and I've always said it to you, that the sisterhood is bigger than any hood in the world. That
Oh God, here you go with this.
I'm just giving you my reality. Just giving you my reality and what I've dealt with. You have the court of public opinion. You can have.
Absolutely.
Let me say it like the same way that you asked me to respect you.
I'm just agreeing with you. Go on now.
Okay, I don't want no problem. The same way that you have these, certain women dressed in a certain way, doing certain things, handling things a certain way, they can be held accountable by dealing with it in the court of public opinion. They can. But a lot of times we don't hear that because a lot of women support the women blindly. So the same way that you can hold these parents accountable for exposing and dealing with the children in a certain way, you can hold them accountable for dealing with themselves in a certain way that will give their children trauma because of their actions and the way that they're moving.
Do you think they care?
So they care about just the one side of their children, but they
No,
don't care about them.
I'm talking about that parent. Do you think these grown ass parents give a damn?
I think it's selective, but if we start holding them accountable instead of allowing a sisterhood to be inserted and being
No.
so, let me say it, being so strong, because you can hold them accountable for their actions. You see, like I remember seeing, let's say, Lil
But do
Kim.
you realize this is just not about a sisterhood? This is not just about women. This is about men and women because they both do the same exact things.
Here,
So
we're here for
if
it.
you're going to
We're here,
hold,
we're here for it. We're here for it.
okay,
I'll
but my
hold.
thing
Let
is
me say it.
this: you can
I'll
hold
hold
somebody
the
to the
man.
fire.
I'll hold a man accountable any day. But I've been
Hmm.
in many rooms to where I went to hold a woman accountable, and it never happened
Hmm.
because
And
let's say this. I've seen Lil Kim walk on a red carpet, half of her thing covered, one of her boobs out with just a pasty on it.
hmm.
And everybody thought it was fashion, it was great. You don't think her daughter gonna look at that one day and be like, "Whoa, Ma, you wow."
Maybe she will.
In the comment section, you'll see she can do what she want to do. She grown. She handle her business. She rich. That's rich people problems. You guys are broke. You are brokey. Worry about what you like. We hear all of this other stuff, not realizing that everything that you do on that post or on that thread or whatever the case may be, your child is going to see that in 10, 15 years when they get
Hmm.
above or they get up.
Hmm. Hmm.
And then
And I understand what you're saying.
now they're affected. But when men are trying to have the conversation and address it in real time, you tell us to mind our business. It ain't got nothing to do with us.
Hmm. Gotcha. I still think that it all depends on on the person, not even the situation, but on the person, because you can hold people
It's gonna
accountable.
depend on the person.
You can it does, and you can hold people accountable for some of the things that they do, and you can feel like that's going to make a difference in someone's um mind. You can hold them accountable all day. They can be judged by the court of public opinion, and some people just don't give a damn because the main objective to them is one thing only. I am getting these likes. I'm getting these views because they have that. What's that old saying? Um, any publicity is good publicity, whether it's good or bad. People still talking. So
And I'm
yeah,
grown.
you
I do
can
what I want to do.
you can hold women accountable. You can hold men accountable. But it's not going to. Most of the time, it's not going to stop them from getting the coin because that's what it's all about. It's about the good almighty coin, and they're gonna get their money anyway they see fit to get it.
Let me ask you a question.
That's just how I feel.
Did you see that new photo of the young married couple? And
What
the
young
man was hovering over the woman, and the woman had on a wedding dress, but the wedding dress came to like right here, and it covered just,
no.
but all of this was out. And like I said, you had some people like, I think that's a little too much. I think she could have did a little better. I think that was too revealing. But then you had another whole world. She grown. She can do what she want to do. If she's comfortable with it, let her be comfortable with it. It's her
And that's
body.
gonna always be.
But what I'm saying is, then let's
That's gonna
have the
always
real
be.
conversation. Hold up. Then let's have the real conversation. Because that same photo can give that same child the same trauma.
It definitely can be, but you're gonna always have different opinions about everybody because that's what this world is built on. It's built on their of people's opinion, and
But a lot of people-
you're gonna have people that agree with the fact that something was inappropriate, and then you're gonna have the people that say what they're gonna say where they don't feel as though it's inappropriate, and you're gonna and that's what this world is made of. So I'm not gonna. You can say whatever, but I'm not going to. I'm the only person that, if my opinion is my opinion, and that's what it's going to be. If I feel like something is inappropriate, then I'm gonna stand down. I'm gonna stand on it. If I feel that it's not inappropriate, then I'm gonna stand on it. And there's nothing that anybody really gonna say to me to change my opinion of it. So, and I think that's how. And a lot of people just think that way because it's a lot of things that we all see through social media, and it's not appropriate for for grown people to see, let alone children.
I agree.
And you feel bad and say, "Oh my God, I feel bad for that kid." But hey,
challenge from me. I agree with you. I understand. All I'm saying is, the same trauma that child can get from you exposing them and trying to get money and this, that, and the third. Because that same child may be like, I like this. I like getting this money.
Exactly. They can.
Well, that same person is like, nah, I believe that, that child is too young. That child is too young to see her mom titties pop out at the top of her breast, a gown too. And it's going to be disrespectful when that child go to school and all his or her friends is laughing at them because their mama is sitting there on his friend's phone with her boobs out.
Yeah. But we have to, if we're gonna sit there, I mean, I get what you're saying, and I understand, but you speaking a lot on women instead of speaking on both.
What's both? Give me
men and women. Men and women.
Give me an example. Give me an example.
Men, because men do things too. that that can cause their children trauma. And that needs to be spoken on just as well, because
I'm
I
addressing that.
always feel
I'm addressing that. I'm addressing it.
okay, but for me, sitting here listening to you, I just feel like you harping a lot on women
If I'm
and
harping
not
on
so
a
much.
situation, okay.
Yeah, but
If
the
I'm harping on,
situation is what it is. The situation
oh,
is that
it is.
parents,
That's not
when we talking of, yeah, but when we talking about this type of stuff of what can hurt children, it's not one parent. I'm talking about parents,
I already
which
said
is
that I
mom and
agree.
dad.
I said I agree. I already said I agree.
Okay.
But if we're talking about one parent or two parents, if it's wrong, it's wrong.
Exactly.
No matter
It
what. I
is.
already
What's
said,
wrong is wrong, but I just
let
yeah,
me
the women
finish.
thing just a
Let
lot.
me finish. If cousin, if it's about women, hold women accountable.
That's the thing. It's not. It's about parents.
Let me finish. Let me
And when
finish.
you talk about parents, it's two, not one.
I know, I hear you, and I agree. We can hold dad accountable next episode. Can we do that?
How about we can hold dad accountable now because we
No, I'm
talking about
asking you
parents.
a question. I'm asking you a question. Can we do one thing at a time? Everything ain't gotta be, he did it too. She did it too.
No, I'm not saying he did anything to, but what I am saying is when this came out, it was always about parents
Can I
more
finish?
than one.
Can I
Sure. Hi, Deacon.
can I finish?
Go ahead,
Can I
finish.
finish? We
Go
can
ahead.
talk about what's up, Derek?
What's going on?
We can talk about one situation at a time. We can talk
We
about
can. But
okay.
in this situation,
Like we can't do this. Like I ain't even
we're not doing anything.
a statement.
No,
I ain't
but
even
what I am saying is that in this situation, in this topic, we're not talking about one versus the other. We are talking about both
cousin,
parents.
cousin. I didn't even finish my statement. I was going to go on the other side, but if you keep cutting me off, how am I going to finish my statement?
Finish your statement, Sean.
No, like you do. I'm good.
Finish your statement, Sean.
I'm good. I feel attacked. I feel like I can't finish a word.
You feel
Can't
attacked?
finish the statement.
I haven't even said anything to attack
Cut
you.
me off every time.
I did. My bad. I apologize. I'm so sorry. You see there? I held myself
Nah,
accountable.
because as soon as I say something,
She held herself accountable. That's a big deal.
she ain't accountable. Accountability is making sure that the same behavior don't happen again. If I
Oh,
say Derek, you know damn well she gonna cut me off.
oh, Lord have mercy. I hold myself accountable,
No,
and I still get the bad end of it.
accountability. But the cherry on the top of accountability is not allowing the same behavior to continue.
Good
That's the
point.
cherry on the top of accountability. You just cut me off 5 times.
There was more, but
You a jerk. I love you, but you're a jerk.
well, we thank Derek the Deacon for coming in at the very last 2 minutes of the podcast. Hi, Derek. How you doing, bud?
It's been better days, but I had to show up.
Hope all is well.
Well,
It's not, but it'll
since you
get
I get it. I was just
there.
since you showed up, give your last 2 minute sense of this topic.
wow. You gonna
This
come
topic,
off?
I'm sad of missing this topic because this topic hit home for me personally. Because before there was a social media, there was a thing we called a pulpit, and there was a person that was called a pre-K, preacher's kid.
Holler to
And
the preacher kid.
and often preachers' kids will always become the scrutiny or the subject matter of said preacher's sermon. So I understand the idea of feeling as a child exploited by your parent, and there's literally nothing you can do about it. So
But did that cause you trauma?
yes, I'm traumatized now. Literally, those one some of the most angry moments that I think about as an adult hit are those moments of sitting in an audience and listening to your parents' view of what happened, and you know that the story didn't happen that way, right? So, but then you can't get up in the church and say, "Nah, it ain't happen like that." So you have to sit there and then feel everybody's eyes, and then have all the mothers and everybody else judging you because because of these stories that they get up in the pulpit and tell. So I was traumatized. That's why this hits home for me, understanding now how children don't get a moment to even be a child because they are always under somebody's camera lens so that they can get a check. And do I benefit from the check? Am I getting a piece of the check? Am I getting taken to the store, 7-Eleven, to get a Slurpee? Am I getting taken to KB Toy Stores when there was a KB Toy Stores? I did not. They do not. Most times, children don't benefit from this thing. They're pushed into this limelight, and then they have to deal with it. So
Absolutely.
this hits home for me, and I understand most parents will say, "Oh, they do benefit from it because I can pay a bill, or the bills get paid, or this is how we make an income." So there's food on the table and there's all that other stuff. But that's yeah, I don't have enough time. We just need to. My statement is think of the child, give that child grace, and offer that child an opportunity to grow up without a camera being in his face. I'm dropping bars.
All right now. We can get an amen on that. Now don't be coming in here like you Remy. I'll take it back. I'll take it back. That wasn't nice. Um, but our podcast is now coming to an end. Um, and I don't know. Maybe we'll talk about it again. Maybe we'll we'll give we'll hold the men accountable the next time.
I'm gonna be
Um,
late.
but
Late.
my my ending on all of this is even though there are laws now being put into place to protect children that y'all throwing on these screens and doing all of this content, just be mindful of what you're putting on social media. Be mindful of your children and the embarrassment that it causes them when they have to go to school or they have to be around their peers. A lot of this stuff can cause children to commit suicide and do harm to themselves, like cutting and do things that normal kids shouldn't be doing because they're not because they're being bullied because of something that you decided to put on social media. Stop opening up these doors, windows for pedophiles to take still pictures of your children, steal their content, to know where you live, to know your child's name. Um, just stop because it's so unnecessary and so unwarranted. That's all I gotta say. Do better by your children because they didn't ask to be here and they damn sure didn't ask to be exploited. That's my take. Sean,
And I
Mr.
will say
Postmaster.
this. I,
Don't hold my packages and don't hold my packages hostage either.
I saw a video of a young boy, high school. And he was being bullied. He was being bullied by his classmates because his sister had OnlyFans and she was showing her body and being penetrated on OnlyFans. So when he got to school, some of the people that supposedly be his friends was saying, "Oh, look at your sister." So my point, throughout this conversation was there's not only one way that children can be affected by social media. They can be affected by a lot of our actions, not just OnlyFans or provocative uh, photos. Some of our children can look at some of our conversations, in the way that we have dialogue. Some of the photos that we choose to put out there. I remember probably 10, 12 years ago, and I had just got Instagram, right? But Princess was she was on tour. She was in a Broadway play called Billy Elliot, and she was a ballerina. And, she just said, "You know what? Instagram, or my daddy." And I had some photos on my page that I wasn't even thinking about my daughter at the time, and this what made me a little more savvy to the game. And when I saw that my daughter, because I didn't have to accept her to follow me, my page is public, and her as a young person just liked her dad. Soon as I saw that, I ran to my page and started deleting and 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 deleting because it was like, oh. So I was caught in that whirlwind that I wasn't even thinking about, a lot of that, the aspect of me just, me being in a firehouse, me being, with the boys or whatever. Maybe somebody sent me something and I just posted it, or I posted like a funny meme that I thought was funny, but maybe your children don't think it's funny. Maybe your daughter don't think it's funny. And I did that. So when she friended me on Instagram, I totally cleaned my page and it gave me a different perspective. It gave me a different perspective. So all I'm gonna say is we can't just think about, oh, we're exposing our children if we're doing videos that's including our children. We do things on our own that our children will may be able to see that they probably will be a little embarrassed about. Bless you. Bless you. They'd probably be a little embarrassed about. When they see these things online, or their friends see things online, or they see photos or optics, and now my mom or my dad photo is out there, or their comments are out there, or whatever is out there, and now my friends are bullying me about it. So just say, let's be mindful, not just of exposing our children, but exposing ourselves. Exposing ourselves. And like I always end it, let's get back to family.
All right. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to go on our YouTube station and like, follow, comment, and share. But most of all, follow and subscribe. We thank everybody for tuning in. We'll be back on Tuesday with another interesting topic. And maybe me and Sean to fight again. Who knows? Let's see what it brings.
I'm on duty. I'm on duty
Let's
Tuesday.
see.
I'm on duty.
Oh, y'all see that, right? He want to bail out. He don't want to put his dukes up. But that's okay.
I can come on if you want to hear sirens. I'm good.
That's okay. We'll get him on the file.
I do it to not cut, you know. But if you want me to come on, I'll come on. I'm going to a corner somewhere. What we gonna talk about?
We gonna talk about something. But we do appreciate y'all. So don't forget, as always, love, peace, and blessings. Be kind to one another. We'll catch y'all next Tuesday. Peace, love, and blessings, everybody.